Welcome, everyone, to the 2002 APBA World Championships coming to you from beautiful Key West, Florida. Hi, I'm Vince Lipari. On behalf of Jeff Girardi and the rest of the Freeze Frame video production crew, we have over 100 competitors in all in these World Championships. This is a 7-race event. We've already had race number 1. We'll give you the winners in just a moment. This is a beautiful complex here in Key West, the southernmost tip of the continental United States. The Truman Annex is the headquarters for many of the activities, from inspections to fueling. The cranes are here as well, to the wet pits. It is your racing village for this event. Lots of social activities here in Key West, from the boat parade to the cocktail party under the stars on the city parking garage roof, racers party at Martha's and Benihana restaurants, a pre-block party at Krabby Bill's, and of course the big Nick Carter concert on Saturday night. Of course, as we said, we've had race number 1 and your winners in race number 1. In Super Cat Light Outboard Triple, Flowmaster, High Risk, and Critical Lift, 1, 2, and 3. And in Super Cat Light Outboard Twin, Cat Can Do, getting the checkered flag. And in Super V, Nick Carter Racing on top, followed by Instigator and Media Master. And in Super V Light Single, Vortec Extreme Cava Cava, then Fury and High Noon Racing. Those are the results of race number 1. We should also tell you, of course, that we've already had the APBA National Championships, and they include in Super Cat Drambuie on Ice, and Super Cat Light in Motion, in Super Cat Light Outboard Critical Lift, in Super V Nick Carter Racing, in Super V Light Cava Cava, in Super V Light Twin, Pier 57, Factory 1, we've got Activator, your national champion, and in Factory 2, Team Donzi. In today's race, race number 2 includes Factory 1 and Factory 2, and your competitors are in Factory 1, Radioactive, High Energy Racing, H2O Motorsports, Propco, SuperboatUSA.com, Stellar Marine, Raising Cane, Patriot Offshore Racing, Team Lavycraft, Mutual Fun, Flash Wave, Activator, Velocity VR1, and Typhoon Racing. That's in Factory 1. In Factory 2, it's Speedwear, Harwich Concrete Block, Snap-on Talking Tools, Sonic Racing, Twister, Let's Play Racing, Total Marine Racing, Team Donzi, Herbert Racing, Treadwell Motorsports, RNS Offshore Racing. Those are your competitors. Today's race, Factory 1 and Factory 2. Freeze Frame Video Productions providing 31 onboard cameras for this event here in Key West. So we've got onboards for today's race: onboard Superboat, Speedwear, Harwich Concrete, Patriot, High Energy, and Mutual Fun. 6 onboard cameras for you for this race number 2, 31 in all, provided by Freeze Frame Video Productions. Now, the APBA Offshore officials, of course, who are crucial to making this event possible, of course, the 2002 racing season, include CEO Michael Allweiss, President and COO Ted Zoli, Executive Administrator Lynn Eason, Safety Director Jim Poplin, Chief Inspector Paula Brew, Chief Referee Mike Tomlinson, Chief Scorer Dee Kimes, Director of Race Communications Jim Felton, Director of Sponsorship Fulfillment Tony Dacoba, Pit Manager Randy Hedgewood, and Competition Director Steve Miklos, and of course a special thanks to Race Director Lee Mills. And the sponsors for the APBA Offshore 2002 racing season. Some of the sponsors include Mercury Racing, Volvo Penta, High Tech Performance Trailers, Vortec, Donzi, also Formula Racing, Sunoco Racing Fuels, Tommy Bahama, and American Express, just to name a few. And of course, Freeze Frame Video Productions proud to be a part of the APBA 2002 racing season and these World Championships here in Key West. We'd like to say that Freeze Frame Video Productions is also providing all races on the DVD format as well as VHS. Just a beautiful day here in Key West for race number 2 as we look around the Truman Annex, the dry pit area where we look at some of these big, beautiful machines. There's Dirty Duck. There's Typhoon. There's WHM Motorsports, a Super Cat, which got second in the national points at the Bahamas. We'll be racing in race number 3 here in Super Cat Division, WHM Motorsports. And race number 4, the first race on Saturday, will include P classes only. And there's a brand new skater. That's the first skater V-bottom built that is in testing stage right now. The skater always builds cats. Tommy Bahama. There's High Risk, took a second place this morning, and Super Cat Light Outboard Triple, High Risk. All right, very shortly, we will be airborne to bring you race number 2 here, the 2002 APBA World Championships. Boats now begin to spread out, heading for a lineup there as they begin. We're going to go with the Factory 2 start. There, the boat's going out right now. As you can see, fairly calm waters. Boats beginning to spread out, leaving the milling area. Factory 1 and Factory 2 in this race number 2, and the competitors. There's Speedwear, Harwich Concrete Blocks, Snap-on Talking Tools, Sonic Racing, Twister, Let's Play Racing, Total Marine Racing, Team Donzi, Herbert Racing Treadwell, and RNS Offshore Racing. Those are your Factory 2 boats. 10 competitors in all in Factory 2 at the start. There's the pace boat with the yellow flag just moments away from the start as the boats begin to continue to spread out, line up, and we've got a green flag now here at this race number 2 of these 2002 APBA World Championships. We got Herbert Racing, Harwich Concrete, Total Marine, Speedwear, Donzi, and RNS Racing. Right there is your lineup as we begin in the early moments of this race. It's Herbert Racing, Harwich Concrete, Total Marine, Speedwear, Donzi, and RNS Racing. Harwich, Total Marine, Speedwear, Donzi, and RNS. Let's go on board Harwich Concrete now. On board with Mark O'Duggan and Chris Wickstrom. Driver and throttle man. Mark from Winthrop, Mass. Chris from Harwich, Massachusetts. 35-foot fountain, Mercury powered, 2 500-horsepower inboards. Chris Wickstrom, the owner of Harwich Concrete. There's a helicopter in the background on the right side. Russell Kilpatrick. All right, as you can see, there is a little stuffed animal there going for a ride as well on board Harwich Concrete. Rear shot on board Speedwear Racing. Speedwear. With Todd Welling and Lance Henriksen. .38-foot fountain, Mercury powered, 2 500-horsepower inboards. At the green, Speedwear Racing. Going down on the throttle. Lance Henriksen on throttle, Todd Welling the driver. Donzi on the left. RNS on the right side. Speedwear always runs well. Almost won the World Championships last year. In 1999, it was your World Champion. All right, here's another shot of just before the start with the yellow flag, and there you see Herbert Racing and Harwich Concrete, Total Marine, Speedway, Donzi, RNS Racing. Once again, these are just the moments just before the green flag here in race number 2 of these 2002 World Championships here in Key West, APBA. And there you see the green going down, the boats beginning to go off once again with Herbert Racing, Harwich, Total Marine, Speedway, Donzi, and RNS Racing. All right, your leader right now in the early moments of this race is Herbert Racing with Eric Treadwell and Boomer Hukari. Harwich Concrete in second place. Coming up, the rest of the competitors. We've got Total Marine, Speedway, Donzi, RNS Racing. There's Harwich Concrete in second place. There's Speedway coming up in third. And the two formulas, we've got RNS Racing and Total Marine on the outside. Great start here in race number 2 of these 2002 World Championships here in Key West. All right, there is Harwich Concrete in second place as we go around the turn, going to your leader, Herbert Racing. Herbert Racing. Harwich Concrete in second place, a 35-foot fountain. It's Mercury-powered. 2 500-horsepowered Mercury inboards. Margot Duggan is the driver. Chris Wickstrom is the throttle man. They're both from Massachusetts. All right, Harwich Concrete took a first place in Marathon, a fourth in Cape Cod, a fourth in Savannah, first in Cleveland, and a first in Texas. Came out in fourth place in the national point standings. Currently in second place here in Key West. Factory 2. On board Harwich Concrete. Marco Duggan and Chris Wickstrom on board. In Mallory Square, Harwich Concrete in second place in Factory 2. On board Harwich Concrete, going around the turn. Marco Duggan at the wheel. 35-foot fountain, Chris Wickstrom, the owner of this boat. Round the turn in Mallory Square. Race number 2 of 7 races here for these World Championships. Okay, now we're going to go with Speedwear. Speedwear is a 38-foot fountain, Mercury-powered, 2 500-horsepower inboards. Todd Welling is the driver, Lance Henriksen, the throttle man. Speedwear, main sponsor, Speedwear for all your embroidery and silk screen needs. They're based in California. Now, this boat holds the kilo record in Factory 2 for 36 feet plus at 92.280 miles per hour. Currently in third place in Factory 2 here in Key West. This boat almost won last year's World Championship, is your 1999 World Champion in Factory 2 Speedwear. This boat did not run in 2000. In third place in Factory 2 Speedwear. A rear shot with our onboard camera. 31 onboard cameras provided by Freeze Frame Video for these World Championships.